The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to look at passing information into a function. As always, a link to this file is provided in the description below. We'll pause for just a couple of seconds so you can download it, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what we have here is I need to convert from pounds to ounces. So I'm going to create a function prototype. We don't need to return a value, so I'm going to have void, and I'm going to call this pounds to ounces. And then I'm going to take in a parameter. This is going to be a double, and that's all I need for my function prototype. Now, if I want to create a function from this, here's a quick, easy little tip. I'm going to copy that, come down here after my main, remove my semicolon, and put a body. Now, I have a parameter of type double, but I don't have a parameter name, so I do need to give this a name. So this is going to be pounds, because that's what I'm going to take in. I always like to make sure that my parameter names, much like my variable names and function names, are very descriptive about what it is I'm doing. So my function is called pounds to ounces. That lets me know I'm going to take pounds and convert it to ounces. Well, likewise, what's my parameter? It's pounds. That's what I'm taking in. So that's just a helpful little hint. Inside my function, I'm going to create a variable, double. We're going to call this OZ, short for ounces, equals pounds. This is my parameter. And if you notice that when I have selected, notice that it highlights both of them for me. So that way, Visual Studio is letting us know, hey, this is what the variable is that you're talking about. If you have two variables that are kind of very similar named, this can make it a whole lot easier to figure out which one you're actually talking with. And there are 16 ounces in a pound, so I'm just going to say pounds times 16 like that. Then I'm going to say cout OZ. All right, so that's all I really need to do. Now, could I do something else, like maybe put an inline? You bet. Could I specify a string before it and say something like ounces? You bet. Was that required? It didn't say so. It's kind of up to us when we don't have information. We really need to know, how is this being used? Now, if I run this, this is going to compile and run, but it doesn't do anything because we don't call the function. So let's go ahead and call the function real quick. And I'm going to simply say pounds to ounce, and then I'm going to specify, let's see here, 3. And I'm going to do a copy and paste. I'm going to paste a couple different values in. So I'm going to say, 1.3, 3.5, 33, and maybe 2.03, just so I get some different values to kind of test this with. Go ahead and run this. And you notice it comes up and gives me different values I can see here. Okay, I could go in and test these out. Okay, 3 times 16, that is 48. 1.3, I would have to do some math to figure out if that's correct, but it's probably pretty close. And I can kind of get some ideas from this. I could do some testing if I need to verify that my function is working correctly. So for example, 3 times 16 is 48, so I know that that one's correct. The others I'd probably have to do a little bit of testing, maybe pull out a calculator or something. But we have a good idea that this is at least approximately what I should expect. If you found this example helpful, please consider clicking on the like button and look at the other videos inside this series to learn how to get better at programming C and C++.